You want to know what's going on here in the local Southern Oregon real estate market, not New York, LA, or Texas, right? It's current and local information that's going to help you make the best decisions about buying or selling in Southern Oregon or even moving to Southern Oregon. And that's exactly what you're going to get on this video right here and the rest of the videos on this channel. What I'm going to share with you here in this video is what's going on with the Southern Oregon housing market currently in the fall of 2023, and what's the latest news and updates about the Southern Oregon housing market. So if you're a homeowner, this is going to be good information. If you thought about buying, this is going to be good information. And if you thought about selling, this is also going to be good information. So plug in and let's get started. Hey, I'm Brian Simmons with eXp Realty. I'm a licensed real estate agent here in Southern Oregon, and I would love to hear your questions about the real estate market. So please don't hesitate to drop a comment in the comment section down below, or even reach out to me directly at 541-954-7758. You can call or text me there. I'd love to hear from you. We're not going to beat around the bush here. We're going to go ahead and get right into the good stuff because I know that is what you want to hear about, and that's information that you need to know. So let's go ahead and dive right on in to the news and updates for the Southern Oregon housing market, and then I will share all sorts of great information and data for what has happened with the housing market here locally over the last week, and give you some additional thoughts on all that. So one of the big updates I wanted to provide for you is that we are actually seeing less transactions closing this year than in years past, okay? And so if we're looking at the month of September as an example, September of 2023 is down 18% compared to last year, and down 32% compared to 2021. And that's if you're looking at Jackson and Josephine counties together for single-family residential homes, okay? So that was one big update that I thought was really important, is that we're down a pretty good amount, 18 to 30%. Well, 18% for the 1 year, 32% over 2 years, okay? Another big update is pretty surprising to a lot of people, and that's that the median sold price, okay, if you take all the homes that are sold over both of the counties, you put them in a line, you pick the one in the middle, that's the median sold price, and that is up, okay? That's up. It's $440,000 in September of 2023, and that's up from about $425,000 in 2022, September of 2022, and that's about a 4% gain, okay? Over the last 2 years, it's been up 7%, and then over the last 3 years, since 2020, it's actually gone up about 20%, okay? So home values are looking pretty good in Southern Oregon. Days on market is another one of those things that we look at a lot to kind of gauge whether or not the market is healthy, whether it's a good time to be a buyer or a seller. And days on market is actually about the same this year as it was last year, okay? So in September of 2023, we were 24 days on the market was the median, and in 2022, it was only 26 days. So it's pretty much the same. In 2021, it was 10 days, and in 2020, it was 12 days. So it's definitely taking more time to sell a home than, a couple of years ago, almost double the amount of time. But is that really a fair comparison? If you think about back in 2020 and 2021, the real estate market was just insane. Okay, mortgage rates were 3%. There was almost nothing on the market. I remember one of my videos back then I was mentioning there was about 300 and something homes on the market for an area of over 300,000 people. Okay, so literally anything that hit the market was just flying off immediately, and it was it was pretty crazy. So to see it go from 10 days back then, 10 or 12 days to 25 or 26 now is not something that's crazy. And I think if you really think about it, 25 days to sell a home's not bad. The next piece of data that I wanted to look at real quick is another piece that is talked about a lot in terms of gauging the health of a market, and that is the sold price to list price ratio. And what we've seen over the last few years from 2020 till 2023 is it's been basically above 98% the entire time. And that means that if you're asking, $100,000 for your home, you can expect to get $98,000 by the time you negotiate with a buyer. So that's very good, right? To not see that have a big drop off, and to see that kind of maintain that stability has been impressive. And I think a good indicator of what we have here in the Southern Oregon market. So now I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on locally in the housing market with most recent data. Today is October 25th, and what we have on the market as of this morning between Jackson and Josephine counties for single-family residential homes. So we had 1,125 listings on the market this morning, okay? And for the week prior, leading up to the 25th, so we had 73 new listings hit the market. 115 price changes, 21 listings came back on the market, 68 went pending, 76 closed, and 39 were either expired, withdrawn, or canceled. And so a couple things stood out to me about that data. And the first is that that was basically, we've seen 3 straight weeks of less new listings coming on the market. We've seen 3 straight weeks of less new pendings happening too. Okay. And so what that would tell me is it sure seems like we are kind of getting into that slower season, right? Like which is typical for this time of year, right? We generally see things slow down in the fall, and that's what it looks like we're starting to see on paper. Okay. And it seems like in the past weeks, we haven't really seen that yet. And so we're starting to see this trend develop 3 weeks in a row is a pretty strong indicator of that's what's happening. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that, obviously, and keep you informed on it. But what's interesting is that what we're looking at on paper doesn't necessarily match what I'm seeing in my own experience out there working with buyers and sellers. Okay. And what I'm seeing is it really hasn't slowed down at all. So it must have for some others, but for whatever reason, my own experience is that things have been pretty busy still, and there's still buyers out there. I had a listing hit the market just last week. We had over a dozen showings over 4 days. And personally, I've had 5 different, over the last 5 weeks, I've helped 5 different families buy 5 different homes. So that to me doesn't feel like we're in any sort of, slow season. There's certainly still buyers out there buying, and sellers who are listing their homes at reasonable prices are getting a lot of activity. Okay. I just talked to another agent earlier this morning who had a listing hit the market yesterday. He already has an offer in on it. So, it's still happening. Okay. So I wouldn't think, if you're a buyer, I wouldn't think, oh, well, I'll just take my time. That new house just hit the market. You still got to be aggressive. You still got to be aggressive to get a good deal. And what I think is happening is I think a lot of the savvy buyers are realizing that this is a really, really good time to buy. Okay. Because there typically is less competition. And that primarily depends on the price point that you're looking at. So if you're looking around $300,000, for example, there's going to be a lot more competition than if you're looking at $600,000. So, maybe you have a little bit more time to get into that new listing if you're looking at $600,000. But anyways, it's important, I think, just to know that there's still a lot of activity happening out there, still a lot of buying, still a lot of selling, and the market generally appears to be very healthy. So anyways, that's all we've got for you today. So I really do appreciate you watching this video. Again, I'm Brian Simmons with eXp Realty here in Southern Oregon. And if there's anything I can do to help you learn, buy, or list real estate here in Southern Oregon, I hope you will not hesitate to reach out. Shoot me a call or a text at 541-954-7758. That's my direct number. Or you can click on the link in the description of this video to set up a time for us to meet face-to-face. And I would love to chat with you that way. So if you have any questions or anything else like that, feel free to drop them down in the comment section. Hit that like button if you like this video. Click the subscribe icon so that you don't miss out on any of our future videos about the Southern Oregon real estate market or other parts of Southern Oregon where we go around and kind of give tours of the different areas and provide all sorts of great information. So check all that out. And I thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Have a good one.